Hi guys, I'm Cadet Moffitt, and today I will be covering how to enroll in AFROTC at the University of Central Florida. This part is going to be part one, and there's going to be three parts. If you watch these videos in order, if you follow part one to part two to part three, hopefully there shouldn't be any questions about enrollment. You'll have a better understanding of how to enroll at the university and then how to actually get yourself enrolled into the program through Wings and making sure all of your documents are turned in. So hopefully this should get rid of some of those questions that you might be facing. So to start off, like I said, we're just going to be talking about how to enroll at UCF. So UCF covers Detachment 159 or Det 159, and we also have crosstown schools that we'll talk about a little bit later that come over to UCF. So how to find more information on admissions. So if you go to www.ucf.edu/admissions/, you'll be able to find a little bit more information about how to become a knight. The page should look something like this. This is a screenshot taken from the website. So you can go there, and once you finally make it to the website, there's going to be a process listed for four different types of students. So are you a first-time in college student? Are you like a freshman? Are you a transfer student? Are you international? It's going to ask you basically what kind of student you are currently, and just select the type of student that you are going to be the semester you join the program. Or have more questions on admissions alone, like I said, that's the website for admissions. This talks a lot about exactly what you need to apply. So that's going to talk about like the $30 non-refundable application fee. It's going to talk about how to access the online application, how you have to have an application essay, and some sort of like official standardized test, your transcripts, all of that. You're going to need all that to apply to the university, but just making it clear here and in the next slides, the university is responsible for accepting cadets and not accepting cadets, or I should say accepting students and not accepting students. So the detachment and the commander, all of the ROTC people and like the program has nothing to do with admissions. And so if you have any admission questions, just go straight to them. And so before applying to join the detachment, you must have been applied and accepted to UCF. This is super big because sometimes we get people say that, they want to join the program and they're doing all the paperwork, but they're not accepted to the university yet. You have to be a student and be accepted in order to enroll in the program and to take classes. You can be a degree seeking student, meaning that you are going to hopefully earn a degree from UCF, or you can be a non-degree seeking student. Either way, you still have to be accepted and then have attended UCF orientation. So this is going to talk a little bit on how to navigate the Det 159 website. So if you Google just Det 159 AFROTC, it should take you there. And if not, you can always scan this QR code, give you a second to take a picture of it. If you scan this, you should be brought straight to the detachment website. And so this is going to give you steps, step by step, on how to actually apply and be accepted to UCF. So this is pretty much what we just talked about, saying how you must apply and be accepted into the school. Once you've done all that, you'll attend new student orientation program, that's otherwise known as NSOP. Interested students must be enrolled and registered as either full-time or non-degree seeking student. So these are our crosstown students, meaning that they take classes at another university and then they take their one ROTC class here at UCF. You cannot join the program without first being enrolled and registered for classes. And then these are our UCF crosstown partnerships, FAMU Law, Eastern Florida State College, Valencia. That's just a couple of them. And so crosstown students get a little bit more into the details with this. We host multiple crosstown universities. With that being said, you must commute to UCF for your AFROTC classes and PMT events. You might be asking, what is a PMT event? What does that mean? That's practical military training. And so if you were thinking, I'm just going to be a crosstown student and I'm only going to have to go to campus one day a week, that's not necessarily true. We have PT twice a week, and that's mandatory. The times as of right now are 0700 to 0815. That's always, up to change. Just kind of figure out how many times you're going to be planning on coming to UCF and maybe plan like your classes the day that you actually have to come and take your AFR class, maybe on a day that you already have to be there. So either Monday or Wednesday, or you could do Tuesday. We have our leadership laboratory from 0700 to 0900. And so then that talks about must being a non-degree seeking UCF student so that you are able to take your one AFR class here. And so this is going to be the link that can take you to the non-degree seeking students. Scroll to apply here. You do have to pay a $40 application fee. Wait for, of course, UCF to approve you. It's very similar to the regular process. You can reach out to Sarah Niles, and this is her UCF email for status. She works specifically with some of our UCF students, or I should say our UCF cadets. So if you have any questions or want to see status, you can email her. And then once you're accepted, you can sign up for the appropriate AFR class. So all UCF students receive a enrollment appointment. And what that basically means is because there's so many students, they don't want everybody on the website at one time signing up for classes. So what they do is, depending on your class, so if you're a senior, junior, sophomore, freshman, and depending on your GPA and your major, they're going to have different people signing up for classes at different times. That's all that means. So depending on your enrollment allocation, that's going to be when you log on to the UCF registrar's office and you sign up for classes. And then note, just a little thing down here, it is your responsibility to enroll early prior to the last day of add drop. Add drop is that first week of classes. That's when you're able to add classes, drop classes, swap classes. You have a week. And so if you're looking at, someone else's class and you're like, I want to add drop, there's no penalty within that first week. So just make sure that you're enrolling early enough. So the significance behind this is that people do this, but then they don't realize that the approval for some of these add drops can take up to 42 hours to 72 hours. And so if you choose like a Thursday class and you're across town and then you realize, man, I should have chosen Monday or Tuesday, classes fill. So just try to do it as early as possible. And then crosstown registration issues. So once registered as a non-degree seeking student at UCF, you should receive an email from the registrar's office. This talks about how you're going to receive the email with the enrollment allocation time and appointment. If you cannot register for classes, this may be because you have not been scheduled for one. If you've not been scheduled for one, this does happen sometimes, just reach out at this email. Go ahead and contact the registrar office directly if you have any questions or concerns about your enrollment appointment. So I kind of already covered this, but just to really hit it on the head, these are the time requirements / the AFR classes. So time requirements, lead lab and PT. We currently have 2 PTs and 1 lead lab every week. Like I said, these are the times as of right now. This is subject to change. Some semesters we've had it from 0600 to 0715. It just kind of depends on when a majority of the wing is taking other classes because we don't want people to miss PT, leadership laboratory, and the Wednesday PT because they're in class. So we try to avoid any class conflicts there. And then AFR class. As an AS 100, which is what new cadets are when they join the program, your classes are required to look like this. And so this just talks about how they're 1 credit hour classes. This is the course code that's associated with each course. So when you sign up for classes, that's basically what you'll put in when you go to sign up. But yeah, it's 1 credit hour and it's once a week. And then this talks about if you're an AS 150, what your classes are going to look like. That's if you join the program late or in the spring semester and you're still trying to catch up, you would be taking 2 1 credit hour classes. And then as an AS 250, this is what your classes would look like. Again, you're trying to catch up, so you're going to be taking the 2 1 credit hour classes. And then as an upperclassman or a POC, your final 2 years are going to look like this. It does jump. So instead of 1 credit hour class, it's now 3. And then this is again listing all the course codes. If you have any questions or want to contact us, you can also follow us online. This is the website. We already talked about this. Go follow our Instagram. It's super cool. We post very often on there. If you have any questions, you can always DM the account. Also have a Facebook, a YouTube for certain videos. This is the email. If you have any questions too, don't be afraid to reach out. The email is also on the website. And then if you want to give us a call, here's the phone number, 407-823-1247.